Hey everyone, Skyling here bringing you another video review. I pride myself as a reviewer bringing you guys totally unbiased opinions on things I review. Giving you guys a cold hard fact on whether the thing is good or bad, whether you should buy it or whether you shouldn't, and all the gray area in between. It's only fair to you guys that I deliver it to you like that. Now, I'm totally unbiased on things that I love too. That includes Batman. Batman has delivered us gold in the past with amazing graphic novels and stories, but it has also delivered us with crap too. Like all things, it has its faults. Now, Batman and Son is definitely not the crap of the series, but it doesn't reach the level of the gold. It's that gray area, the somewhere in between, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Let's start things off with the story. This is supposed to be the epic tale about Batman finding out that he has an illegitimate son with Talia al Ghul, the notorious assassin who just apparently hasn't killed anyone yet, because I haven't seen her kill anyone, so she's a pretty darn good assassin for not killing people. That's beside the point. The name of the child is Damien, and he's around the age of 8, or 10, I'm not quite sure. Now, that's about all that happens in this book. Is that the only thing that's epic about this book is you find out that Batman has a son. Now, let me just talk about the bad sections of the book. And the biggest bad section is Damien himself. Now, maybe I am being a little biased on this, but I really don't like Damien. Actually, I fucking hate him. Now, I can understand when people build up characters to make you hate them, to love to hate them. An example would be in wrestling. When Triple H was going through the wrestling ring, he was always hated. People would pay money to see Triple H lose. That's the concept of a heel, the bad guy, to make the face look good and for people to see the bad guy lose. And it's very much the same thing in bad guys in comic books. Sometimes bad guys are meant to be something that you hate so that you buy to see him lose. An example would be Jason Todd. Most of the time, people don't like Jason Todd, but they buy comics to see what happens to him, to see if he gets the living other shit beat out of him. Now, I just don't feel that with Damien. He doesn't have any qualities that are rewarding, and he's just goddamn annoying. Whenever he would get into tussles and fights with Robin, I would always be rooting for Robin to beat the living fuck out of Damien. But maybe that's just me. The second reason why I don't like Damien is the fact that he's actually Batman's son. And no, I'm not opposed to Batman actually having a family. Actually, Batman has some of the most glorious families in all of comic history. For being such a loner Batman is, he has such a dynamic family that he's not related to. He has his older son, Dick Grayson, the son that he failed, Jason Todd, his daughter's the Batgirl, and Tim Drake, the youngest son. He also has a surrogate father, Alfred. Now, where they may not be connected by blood, they're still his family. And I thought that was such a dynamic concept to have to Batman. It feels like Damien just ruined all that. In addition to that, since Face to Face came out, the 1 year later novel, Batman and Robin's relationship has greatly improved. But it went from a father-son relationship to totally change into Batman and Damien having that father-son relationship, or as much as they can. Now, that's my first major problem. It's just Damien. I don't like him. Now, I can understand Grant Morrison having a grand scheme for Damien in the future. I like to think Grant Morrison as a crazy god. He has so much potential and so much knowledge, and he's a great writer. But I think he's fucking insane at the same time. But he also has a plan for everything. And I'm sure he has a plan for Damien. Whether Damien is to become the new Robin, or whether he's to become the new Batman, or something totally different. That's Grant Morrison's thing, and I totally respect him on that. But I still think he's fucking crazy half the time. But that's a different discussion for a different day. The second thing I have against Batman and Son is the fact that nothing really actually happens in it. Other than the fact that you realize Batman has a son, nothing really goes down. It's just a few fights and that's it. You know, there's no dynamic storyline. Now, I can't fault Batman and Son too much. And here's the reasons why it's actually pretty good. The art is actually pretty nice. I think the art is fantastic. The action scenes were very well done and the dialogue was great. Actually, the best dialogue was between Robin and Damien, how they would fight over the love of Batman. Now, the one thing you have to go into this novel is knowing what it is. It's not supposed to be the epic tale that is, said that people say it is. No. Batman and Son is a stepping stone, a plot pusher to everything Grant Morrison is doing. It leads up to the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul, into Black Glove, and into Batman Rest in Peace, which is currently going on at this moment. So it's really just a plot pusher. As long as you go into it knowing that, then you should be fine. But if you go into it expecting such a dynamic, epic tale, then you are going to be sorrowfully disappointed. Now, again, it does have its faults, and it does have its good things. As long as you guys know that, you will realize the graphic novel is mediocre, run-of-the-mill, just something to hold you over until a better novel comes out. So, I suggest if you're going to get into Grant Morrison's run, which has been pretty interesting thus far, I suggest you start off with Batman and Son. However, if you're just starting into Batman, I suggest you go way, way back and do some of the earlier works first. Hit some of the better stuff first. With that said, I'm going to end the review here. I hope that I help you guys out. Batman and Son isn't bad, but it just isn't good. With that said, I'm going to say, peace out for now.